intrigued me about the art is it's very cognitively building. It is learning a new skill set. And the other thing is it builds in a certain degree of what I call muscle memory.
Physical therapy is very, I like to call it sets and reps. There's not much coordination that goes along with it, or not much cognitive thought processing.
For patients who have neurological problems, a lot of times they've lost the connections by which they can do things that we all take so much for granted.
Especially for some of these diagnoses, cognition is huge for increasing quality of life, decreasing disease progression.
I saw art as a way of reaching different portions of the brain so that they could use that to actually improve their movements.
What was fascinating to me is to start in July and to see people with limits, with how much they could do. And then over time, over the first 4 weeks into 12, could actually, some of them, go into a next higher level.
Improvements in balance, improvements in self-confidence, and they're just having fun.
We have balance tests and walking tests, we call gait analysis, how their scores have improved dramatically. Some of them almost doubling to almost a perfect score on some.
It has helped me more than I ever thought I could, and especially with my strength and my balance.
My core is really gotten stronger. My posture, I think, has improved, and I really feel just more secure when I'm moving.
It helps me feel better.
Falling less or being less unsteady.
Knowing how to use that in my everyday life, not just when I'm here at dance.
It's really an interesting program. I think it helps.
Honestly, I've gone from having a 0 pack, I've never had a 6, to having a 2-pack. And I didn't ever expect that, especially with Parkinson's.
I have thoroughly enjoyed watching the process of individuals who have never had dance enter and start exploring and learning and start becoming to fall in love with the art of dance.
I learned all about ballet actually through my daughters. I started taking ballet lessons when they were 4 and 5 years old. And so for more than a decade, I've been watching them as they did their studies and learned the techniques. And what really impressed me in watching them was the mental and physical abilities that were required to really hone in on just the slightest bit of movement. That I started thinking about how that could potentially benefit my patients that I see. Because even the slightest movements sometimes for these individuals can be really quite hard. So that's really why I settled in on looking at ballet as a technique to bring in to these patients. Never in my wildest dreams would I think that I had to try to pull this off in the midst of a pandemic. But a large part of the impetus that drove me to go ahead and pursue it this year was the significant decline cognitively in my neuro patients during COVID. And so we had to take a lot of extra precautions, obviously. We had bars that helped to distance everyone 6 feet apart. Everyone stayed masked. We basically had to limit the numbers of participants. But for those that did try the program and stuck it out, they were really the reasons why I didn't stop. So many of the participants really asked, please don't take this away. We're getting so much out of this. And so they were a large part of the encouragement that I needed to continue this year, despite everything behind us.
Well, the more important part is having and fostering an environment where they can feel welcomed and they have a community.
One of the nice benefits, a surprise actually for me, because I didn't anticipate that, but some of them have become friends with one another.
Through the arts, people connect on a human level.
And of course, I can't negate the fact that it's been definitely a social time for us, because during this time, we can't be with anybody, and that's definitely been a plus.
Our last class in December it was quite beautiful watching them wish each other happy holidays, Merry Christmas, how they were going to miss seeing one another.
It's a support group to some degree, although it's a bit different than your average support group, which is also what makes this kind of fun and unique.
One of the points I keep driving home about is the community. As someone who has multiple sclerosis, I realize that I don't have that. But as someone who's young who has MS, who's had it for 3 years now, and I'm on Tysabri, so it's a high-risk medication. I do realize that I do need community also too.
Never been around other people that have similar movement disorders that I have, so it's the first time I've really felt a part of a group.
Bringing people with the similar diagnosis together, similar situations, is really great for mental health, especially when you're dealing with a disease that's debilitating and it's progressive.
Just my overall feeling of confidence and being happy and having something to look forward to.
I just feel graceful. I've always wanted to be graceful, and I never had thought of myself as such.
I'm grateful for where I am, and I think it's just helped me emotionally.
Here I am at 70, and I feel graceful. It's shocking. I don't think I'm going to fall easily. That's an encouragement.
And it's fun, but it's also challenging as well.
It's more in depth than normal physical therapy.
And it helps me so much in every area of my life.